All right, everyone. I hope you can see me live. I am. This is Ray Sanchez with Ghostlight Creative, coming to you from the original studios of Ghostlight Creative, an old converted garage into a studio. So hopefully you can see me now. And we're excited to be here. Sorry we're a little bit late today, but here we are. Today we're going to be talking about do's and don'ts for your company's brand during this time of uncertainty, crisis, confusion. There are ways to navigate this correctly, and certain things you can avoid. So we want to talk about the top five do's and the top five don'ts for your company's brand today. So hopefully your questions can come in, and we can address some of those questions as you have them. And if you're seeing this at a later date on the recorded stream, then I hope you can get a lot out of this message. We invite you to contact us and reach out to us through the chamber if you have more questions about suggestions on what you and your company can do for marketing during this time. So I'd like to first of all tell you that as far as do's, well, one do is to keep people informed. You want to let people know how your business is changing. If you have changed hours of operation, or you have changed locations, or you're going online, make sure that you make a big effort to keep people informed. That is crucial during this time for your customers or even vendors or other people that you have relationships with. You want to let people know what you are doing as a business to increase the health and safety of your operations, even if it's just internal. People want to know where their products are coming from, who's handling their products, what's going on with their documents or paperwork. So let people know what's happening. Another thing that you want to consider is to let your vendors know or let your customers know when your product will be delayed or affected by what's going on. And it's better to let them know and be honest as early as possible rather than waiting to try to make things better and then leave people hanging, not knowing what to expect. So the more that you can be not just transparent, but forthcoming with your information, well, that's going to help you and your company's brand tremendously as we all navigate through this situation together. Um, the number two do for your company is to be mindful of your tone in your messaging and be mindful of the images that you would project during this time. For example, you want to stay positive, but you don't want to come off as bragging. You want to stay authentic and real. Have a spirit of humility, empathy, and helpfulness. Things like "we are here for you" or "you can count on us." Those are great messages to deliver during this time. And try to avoid images of groups of people together, the classic handshaking stock photo that a lot of people like to use in business, all of this closeness and touching. Try to save those images for another time. You don't have to overemphasize being apart physically, but you don't have to include groups of people or crowds or training seminars with a full audience. Those images can kind of rest for now. So, number three on the do's for your company during this time. This is my personal favorite. Do see how you can help. Position your company as being helpful and solution oriented during this time. So, one quick thing that you can do is call your partners, or if you can, your clients, or at least some of your main customers, and do a check in. How are you doing? Maybe they're not ordering from you, but you can at least reach out and say, look, I want to know how you're doing. How are your families? What is your team like at work? Uh, one thing that our company is doing is we're asking people, what do you need? Give us a top things on your list of what you need. And maybe Ghostlight can help you on one or two of those things. Maybe of the other things, there is someone in our network that we can refer you to, and we can connect people who have a need with people who have resources. And so if you are seen as helpful and you're genuinely wanting to be helpful, then that's going to be a really good thing for your company to do. You can also come up with innovative partnerships and innovative solutions. You can organize a food drive toward healthcare workers and see if you can find sponsors for um, donation of food or donations to restaurants to prepare to-go meals for healthcare workers, and then get that distributed out into the health worker community somehow. So these are all innovative tips that you can use to put your company as a part of the solution when it comes to this situation that we're all in right now. Number 4 on the things to do for your company is do innovate. It's time to come up with new solutions. Some things coming out of this situation in the big picture are going to change permanently, and they're going to change for the better. For example, we may not have as many waiting rooms anymore. There could be doctor's offices that do not force people to sit in a tight waiting room for them to call their name to be seen by the doctor anymore. It could be that doctor's offices subscribe to text messaging services that can let patients know when it's their turn to come see the doctor. And these patients can sit in their car, listen to music, or they could take a walk out into the other part of the building, or in the patio out in front. All of these things could be great innovations coming out of this time. Uh, you know, Video conferencing obviously is going to be a new thing, and this could be permanent. So while we'll still be meeting in person together going forward, people can be much more uh, apt to accept vendors who will meet with them via video conferencing. And this could open up opportunities for you. If you're in El Paso, you can then get clients in other cities, and you can compete for business in other cities, whereas maybe that wasn't the case before. Maybe businesses were needing someone to walk through their door and sit down and do business that way, which is, it's still fine to do business like that. But lo and behold, if you tell somebody in Albuquerque that you're in El Paso, they may not care anymore. They may do business with you now via Skype or Zoom or FaceTime or any one of these solutions that are out there. So this is a great opportunity for your business to innovate into a live stream type of service providing company. Um, you can get into e-commerce. Maybe e-commerce was a solution that seemed kind of far away. You didn't want to change your internal culture so that you could sell products or services online. Well, now it seems like nobody has a choice. If you're going to do business, you need to have an e-commerce solution. So it might be time to start looking at how can you convert your walk-in traffic to your visits traffic to an e-commerce ready website. So a lot of these innovations are going to come out of this time, and we think that you should be a part of those innovations. So that's number 4. Number 5 of our to-dos during this time. It is an excellent time to retool, to grow, and to invest in your company. So you can work on back burner projects, things that you have been putting off, low priority projects for either for customers or for yourselves. You can educate yourself and your team through continuing education, online courses, Google Ad Academy. I mean, you can really brush up in marketing in areas where you didn't have the time to get savvy before. Now you can sit down and see how Facebook Live works, see how Google AdWords work, or a Facebook ad campaign. so that not necessarily that you do it yourself later when things ramp up again, but that you have the right questions to ask of people like us, Ghostlight Creative. You know that when we're setting up a campaign for you, you know exactly what you would like to see or not see. And so you're more savvy during this time. You should write a list of short, medium, and long term goals, revisit that list, refine it, and then you can build up your social media accounts and your digital spaces. So you could take pictures, you could write behind the scenes stories, you could shoot some videos about what your company believes in, your values. You can ask partners of yours, vendors, or top customers to send in videos to you, and you can compile that as content for your social media during this time. So, as far as business do's, we're going to do a quick recap. Number one, you want to keep people informed. Let them know of changes in your hours of operation or changes in your service delivery. The more proactive you are, the better it's going to be for your brand. Number two, watch your tone and your images. Stay positive, be authentic, but don't brag. Number three, see how you can help. How can your business be seen as part of a solution? Number four, time to innovate. Think of new ways to deliver your products or services, or think of new markets that are open to you now that you wouldn't have thought of before. And number five, it's time to retool, grow, and invest in your company. So those are 5 do's. Now we're going to switch it over and go to don'ts. What are things that you need or should avoid during this time? All right. So number one, please do not capitalize on the crisis. Do not have COVID-19 sales, 19% discount because of COVID-19. Come in today. You don't want to capitalize on the crisis. It's one of the worst things you can do for your brand. It's not right, it's not fair, and you shouldn't do it. So make sure you avoid capitalizing on anything having to do with the crisis, and be careful how you say that. Um, Number two, do not be an alarmist. Don't put messages out with a lot of exclamation points, a bunch of emojis, using all capital letters in your social media or in your ads or publications or newsletters. Just kind of reel that back. It's not the time. Everybody is already on kind of DEFCON 5, and we don't, no one wants to hear your message coming in with extra alarmist, punctuation or tones with it. So let's just roll back on the yelling at the top of our lungs here. Do not use fear to sell. Okay, you want to say our company is here for you. You don't want to say COVID-19 is a fact of life. You need our services now. Please, this is not the time to use fear. In fact, we don't believe really in using fear to sell anyway. Our company, Ghostlight, doesn't. But especially now is not the time anyone wants to hear fear as a motivation to try to sell your product or service. Make sure that before you share any articles with your clients, if you have a newsletter that you maintain, information on your website, that make sure that the articles that you share are credible. Make sure that they're from reliable sources, and be very, very careful about any dire warnings or predictions. Okay, and please don't overshare. Putting posts 2 or 3 times a day, sometimes repeating the same information. I mean, we're already on a 24-hour news cycle on the news networks. You as a business probably don't need to jump on that stream and take that pattern from there. Not as a brand that's wanting to connect with people in this time of concern. So don't overshare. Don't vent out to your customers or to your vendors. Okay, now is not the time. It's a time to be reserved, calm, positive, and focused instead. So number 3, on your don'ts is don't brag about products or services. Please remember that many people and businesses are not working during this time, and they're genuinely worried about tomorrow or next week or the future beyond. So no one really wants to hear you say, hey, we're still doing great. We're humming right along because we sell toilet paper. It's like pouring salt in a wound. So make sure that that is not part of your messaging strategy at this point in time. If you sell cleaning supplies or you sell groceries or whatever it is that you do, you're servicing the healthcare industry and they need your services. It's really not a time to stand on top of the mountain and say you're number one, you're the best, we're in a great position right now. So be careful about that. Number four, don't just plan for the short term. You don't want to make overly optimistic promises to employees or customers, and you don't want to buy into limited time offers or overspend on media or something right now. I mean, prices are fluctuating, the value of everything's going up and down. Just plan for the long haul. Don't be short sighted during this situation. And number five on the don't list is don't forget that someday this is going to be over. So just remember that things will get better. We're going to find a solution. I don't think anyone can definitively say when or for how long, but you know that this is going to come to an end or a resolution. It's not going to last forever. So let's do a recap on the five don'ts. Don't capitalize on the crisis as a business or a brand in your marketing. Don't be alarmist. Don't use fear to sell to people, or be careful about your punctuation and your all caps. Uh, don't brag about your products or services, especially if you're doing well during this time. Or no one wants to hear that you're number one in your class right now. I mean, who cares about that? And number four, plan for the short term, or don't plan for the short term. Make sure you plan for the long term, and go several months into the future, if not a whole year, and try to prepare for that as much as you can. And number five, don't forget that this is going to be over soon. Um, so let me see if there are any particular questions. It doesn't look like it. One note that I wanted to make is for creative industry or creative services, especially photographers. We work with photographers directly, and photography is all about using photographs for people to move from one place to another, whether it be for travel or for business or to go eat at a restaurant or buy real estate. This is an especially difficult and challenging time. Obviously, you can use this time to retool and grow, but if you do retouching in your photography business, it's a great time to offer retouching services for family photographs. There are a lot of people spending a lot of time at home and they're looking at their walls, and sometimes they see photographs that they've been meaning to put up on their walls, but they may be damaged. So it is a good time to advertise that you as a photographer do retouching services, and to get all of these family photos, heirlooms over to you so that you can start cleaning those up for people. That's a new avenue of business. As a photographer, you can also look at submitting new photos that haven't been used, for which you own the rights, to stock sources if you can. I know they don't pay very much, but there could be some content in there that can get some good usage, and you just never had the time to go ahead and do those uploads. Well, now is a great time to upload photography that you have already for stock. So you can also look at possibly booking appointments into the future with flexible terms. So there are things that possibly can be done for you as a photographer. Let's see. I am told there are questions, and I am looking at, I see comments here. What do you recommend for events industry, like those who make party favors or sweets? Okay, if you make party favors or sweets, there are families at home that are looking for things to do. And they're doing things at their house. They may not be gathering in greater numbers, but if you can provide treats or sweets for a family in their house, especially children oriented or teen oriented, Easter is coming up and you may not have huge orders, you might have micro orders that go together. But if you can encourage family members or companies to all put in an order together and then give you an order as an events company, then you can send themed products out to people's homes separately under one order. For instance, Ghostlight Creative is still meeting every day through Zoom, and if we wanted to do something for Easter or St. Patrick's Day or a certain event, then an events company can reach out to us and say, would you guys like some themed products or snacks that can be delivered to your individual homes that you all can share together on Zoom? So you kind of need to get creative if you're an events company. And that was a question from Bree Gonzalez that I see there. You see, what's your advice for businesses, perhaps restaurants that do not have menus online or an online ordering system? What's the best and most efficient way to convert from brick and mortar to e-commerce? Well, okay, the first step that you want to do if you don't have an e-commerce setup is to make sure that you are listed in your Google services or Google business. Google My Business. You can go to just Google My Business on the internet and register your business so that you appear in Google Maps. Not that people can go there, but maps are still a good search response tool that people um, use to place orders, because that's where your phone number is going to be found. And people don't need to go to your website in order to call you to place an order. In the Google Maps description, you can put a little bit of what your menu is. You can put your price range. And just by doing Google My Business, you might have phone in orders start to come in. The next step beyond that is to make a Facebook page. And on that Facebook page, you can put images. You can take a picture of your menu and put it up on your Facebook page there. And the Google My Business and the Facebook page, you can do that in 1 day's time and be up and running. All right. Let me see any other questions that might have come in. You got it, Bree. I hope that helps. I hope you can report back in and let everybody know what you did that started working for you. Because I know events, photography, restaurants, it's very difficult. Any entertainment during this time. Let's see. If you have any other questions, just let us know. I hope this was very helpful for you. Marketing do's and don'ts for your brand. If you watch this video and we didn't cover a certain topic, we're open to responding and answering any unique questions. What would you suggest for hair salons or barbershops that depend on one-on-one human interaction? That's an excellent question. I would recommend that you come up with a gift card system, because when the quarantine or the social distancing is lifted, it's not like everybody's hair stopped growing during this time period. People are going to come out of their homes maybe looking like Rip Van Winkle, and there could be a big rush for you to have a lot of business. So I would suggest gift cards, rain checks, rainy day checks. I mean, call it whatever you will. The Here We Go discount for when we go back up and running again. You know what I'm saying? Um, the Rip Van Winkle gift card or promotion. And so you can issue these out now. Find a way to track your gift cards, and people can buy them at home. And when they come out of their caves and they pretty much look like cave people, you might have a line out the door. But it's like taking a business loan right now. It's a zero interest business loan because people are buying your services right now, and so you're getting income. And then when people get back out into public, they're going to call you out on it. Well, then you have to go ahead and cut their hair at that time. But at least it's cash flow now to keep you going. And I'll call it the Rip Van Winkle rainy day fund for hair salons. What kind of free resources, marketing tools are out there for businesses to use? Well, I mean, social media is going to be tops on that list. That is free and something you can get involved in. I would say if you have a teenager at home, that you can get their advice to help you run social media tools. That includes Google Maps, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. Um, Online sources that you can learn about marketing. Well, oh man, there are there are plenty of online courses. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the website where you can search Ivy League courses online, and they have a wide variety of college level courses. But that's something that you want to take up your time doing. Let's see. What other questions are coming in right now? Let's see. Let's see. You can use Canva, Canva. Let me. You know what? I have these sources right here. Hold on a second. I'm going to post them so that. There we go. So Canva, Sprout Social, Affordable, which is a Squarespace initiative, the Google Ad Academy, the YouTube Academy, etc. Those are great resources you can use to brush up on your marketing. Great marketing tools. Let's see, Danae, what services does Ghostlight Creative offer? Okay, so Ghostlight Creative is a communication consultancy, but we do branding and logo design, slogans, and getting all your products branded. We can do business names, product packaging. The other thing that we do is website design and website building. We'll do ads, marketing collateral, like any kind of PowerPoint or keynote presentations designed, brochures. Basically, if your logo goes on it, our company provides it. We have been in business now it'll be 22 years this summer, working with small, medium-sized businesses. We've got a lot of experience in healthcare, especially from doctors all the way up to hospitals. We've done retail, industrial marketing. So at all levels, we've helped people get their seminars together. We've worked on contractor bids for federal, state government bids, prepared annual reports for people. So there is no shortage of services that we provide. But we also do seminars. We do consulting. I mean, we're happy to sit down with someone who just needs answers on where to go for their marketing needs. So we really can flex in a lot of places. The Chamber is offering free courses on Coursera to members. That's a great resource as well. And thank you, Teresa Rockwell, for selling our heart and soul. Yes, we do a lot of nonprofit work as well. That is absolutely right. A lot of nonprofit work. Work for nonprofits. Let's see. How has Ghostlight adapted to the stay home order? We jumped on Zoom quite a bit. we have some team members that are staged are located out of town. One is in Northern California, another one is in Dallas, and they've been for 4 years already in those locations. So we were already kind of set up to be a remote type of company. I think we're looking forward to helping people in this remote type of setting. But yeah, we're on Zoom a lot. With the big push to support local businesses, there are some businesses that might not be obviously local. An example might be Crazy Cat Cycle. Oh, they're not obviously local, but they are local. Okay, they have a few locations, but they are a local company. How would you recommend businesses get the message across that they are local? Uh, I would, we make use of what we call campaign tags. Campaign tags are like a slogan that you use for a season, and this is certainly a season. So on Crazy Cat Cycle, we would say, established in El Paso, 19. I don't know when they were built, but I would add that tag anywhere they have their logo. Established in El Paso, and then the year. I think that would be a great way for businesses that are that they people might perceive as being franchises to actually knowing that they're a local company. I mean, not everybody in El Paso knows that Crazy Cat Cycle is named after the Crazy Cat Mountain, which is on the west side of town. So if you're from El Paso and you're aware that Crazy Cat is intuitively local because of its name, but again, there's a lot of people that don't realize that Crazy Cat Mountain is is local to El Paso. So yes, Crazy Cat would be wise to add a campaign or seasonal tagline that says established in El Paso 19 whatever. Let's see. These are great questions. They're challenging questions. Some of the hardest questions came from people that work at Ghostlight. So we're going to have a discussion after this because they got my heartbeat going quicker than most questions. Uh, let's see, especially that hair salon comment. Dang it. Um, yeah, so if you're a small business, please look at these notes. If you don't have time to go through the whole video, I know we've got well over half an hour now. I have officially gone on longer than a sitcom with this video, so I hope everyone has gotten something out of it. Um, but we're happy to be here. We're happy to partner with everyone in El Paso. Um, I just want everybody to keep their heads up and keep going. Stay calm, be helpful, be positive, and be happy. Don't be afraid to reach out to another business who you admire or seems to be doing well and ask them what they're doing. Because the worst that can happen is that they don't refuse, they don't share with you that much information. But if you think somebody's doing a good job, reach out and ask them and say, we're big fans of you. What is it that you guys are doing? Or, how can we help? That's a great question too. When you say, how can we help? But look for mentors during this time. People forget about that. This is a great opportunity to create relationships that people, maybe didn't consider before this time period. So look for mentorships and see how you can help people that you admire, people and businesses that you admire. It's a great way to reach out to them. And I cannot stress that enough. Our business does this. We encourage not just being a mentor, but having a mentor during this time. Um, so yes, anybody who can put comments on, I'll be happy to read them and we can engage this discussion. Any ideas on gift cards? How can a company get into gift cards? Well, you want to get into gift cards quickly. There are solutions online that offer custom gift cards. I think this is a good practice regardless of a worldwide pandemic or not. Remember that what a gift card is the best type of loan ever for a business. It's an interest-free loan that sometimes don't get cashed in completely. I mean, if you look at it as an interest-free loan, it is one of the best things you can do. So all I can tell you is go online and search gift cards for my business. And there are a number of solutions. Shopify provides gift cards through Squarespace, but Shopify is a leader in e-commerce. WooCommerce is another one. Woo, WOO Commerce. There are ways for you to get into gift cards that way. Um, if you haven't done so already, it takes a little bit of time to get those set up, but but I think it's well worthwhile. Like I said, a gift card is an interest-free loan. It's a micro loan giving to you by your customers. So they're giving you cash now that you're going to pay off, not with cash, but in services later. And just keep in mind that the value of a gift card in cash is returned in services rendered. From an accounting standpoint, you come ahead like automatically. So for a business to offer gift cards is one of the smartest ways to get cash flow going to your company, especially in this situation we're in now, but even outside of this situation. Again, it is interest-free microloans to yourself when you offer gift cards. So I'm a big proponent of gift cards. And just keep in mind that more people right now are relying on their phones, social media, display ads. All of these types of announcements are going to be really getting the attention of your customers now more than ever. So digital marketing now should really be more, everybody should understand how important that is now. Let's see. Has the marketing industry seen a difference in digital activity? Yeah, it's gone way up. I mean, big ad spending has kind of went into shock for a little bit, but the market is still there. How do we know the market is still there? Because there are retail stores getting their shelves cleaned out because Amazon cannot keep up with demand. I mean, so there is an economy active at this point in time. And I think it's great for a small business to either on their own or get into an innovative collective of other businesses to get into digital marketing at this time. All right. So thank you all. I think this has been hopefully very helpful. I've been enlightening for me because I've had to think on the fly with these questions. But our best wishes to you and yours during this time. And please do not hesitate to reach out to us through our website, either at the chamber or at ghostlightcreative.com. Thank you so much.